Today we will look at another video on Steel Flanked Peinveid, and this is my last fight on this season. At least it is for this season, but I wanted to show you that you can use Flame Gilroy. I showed on my last video that you can use Tristan with Flame Gilroy, Flame Merlin, and Wood Sergius. And these three guys, you should not change them because they are very strong for this content, and they will allow you to make the fight without as much RNG. You will not need to remake the fight 10 times, 20 times to reach the maximum damage, to resist and anything. You don't need to have resistance, you don't need to have specific RNG. And I wanted to show you the fight, all the fight, and you will see that even if it is not a full auto team, because you will need to consider some things. And it is about first the skill 3 of Gilroy. I noticed that it didn't change that much. I think I did like 1 hertz more in playing manually Gilroy, so this is not the important part. I think you can lock him with the S1 maybe, or find some rotation that could not annoy you that much in using the Vigors. But most important part is to play Merlin manually, just to use the skill 3 one time, and it will allow you to land the attack gauge disruption on the boss. And when he will use his skill with the barrier, then he will not charge his attack gauge. This is when you have to play Merlin manually, and also sometimes it depends on the counter attack of Sergius. You may not need to play Sergius manually, but if you notice that the boss lost the focus target or something like that, the specific debuff of Sergius, then you will probably need to play manually to land this debuff again. But when you got when you know these conditions, then you can press auto and just wait the good moment to play manually. You should maybe play like 3 times manually during all the fight, and it's gonna be pretty similar all the different fights that you will do. Only one thing that you also need to know, it is about the counter attack of Sergius. If he is focused by the HUD or by the boss, then it will not trigger his counter attack. So notice that, and maybe sometime you could have a bad run. It's probably because he has been focused by the boss, and if he is focused by the boss, then he will not trigger the counter attack and put the attack speed decrease too on the boss, and you really need this debuff to make this run much better. So as I said, for Gilroy, it doesn't had a lot of more damage, sadly, to play him manually. That's why as I told you, maybe you don't need to play Gilroy manually. It will optimize the fight. You will increase the damage, but really not that much. So maybe it didn't worth the effort to play him manually. As you can see, yeah, right here, sometimes he's doing a lot of damage. So sometimes he's doing like 100k more with the skill 3, but it's like 30k more damage than with the skill 1. So this is not what will allow you to reach the maximum scores anyway. The most important part, if you want to optimize this team, is to use Caliban Archer with a tension set. But if you want to play Caliburn Archer with Ascension set, then here you're gonna have a lot of RNG factor, because it means that if the boss put the recovery disruption on Archer, then you will not be able to survive. And if you play with Ascension set, then it will reduce constantly the HP of Archer, and I noticed that he will be focused. You will have much more chance that Archer is going to be the focused in the fight. That's why I'm not using Archer with Ascension set. I think I could play Archer in Ascension set, but it could. I think if I'm using Archer with Ascension set, then it should be around maybe 10 runs, 10 different tries to survive at the fight, and a lot of luck, because you can't control 100% chance the target of the boss, and if I'm enough lucky, then he's not gonna die, and I would be able to do my maximum score. But I noticed that the rewards that you will have after 92 hertz are not that interesting. I mean, the target is to reach like 90 hertz because it is not that hard, but the last 10 hertz are much more difficult to have, and it is not worth. I feel like it is not worth to invest a lot of time, to invest a lot of resources to get this last hurt. This is my opinion. What could I say more about this fight? So I think this is all I have for you guys. Look attentively everything that I did during the fight, but as I said, the most important part is to respect, to play manually Merlin just before the barrier. Right here, he buffs himself with the barrier, but he didn't charge his attack god. This is a very important part, and also you have to play manually Sergius if the boss doesn't have the focus debuff. So check the boss, because as I said, it also depends on the counter attack. But I think you will have to play him like 2 times and Merlin like 2 times. So it means that you will have to do manually 4 different actions to make a very good result for this boss. That's how you would not be able to optimize the fight that much, at least much more than what I said. And the second important thing is, I really believe that with the next update we will have the necessary stats to, with this team, easily reach the maximum score. That's why I'm not optimizing the team that much to try to reach the maximum scores, because I think the next update gonna change a lot of things. So I don't recommend you to invest a lot on specific things to deal much more damage, because on the next update we're gonna have a lot of different things that will probably allow us to deal much more damage on the bosses, because it will work on all the different bosses. So I'll let you watch the end of the fight, and I will see you back for the cheer.
this could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
So the first thing important to know is that I'm gonna show you all the different stats of my champs, but most important part is to respect the speed, because you don't want to be too fast, you don't want to be too slow. When you play with the attack gauge buff, attack gauge boost, then it could be annoying to have all the champs with the similar speed, because they will have got the maximum attack gauge at the same time, and so it could, even if they have a lot of speed, it could be slower and not as good as if all champs got some different speed. That's why I can't calculate it exactly, but as you noticed during the fight, the boss is not playing that much, so if you respect the speeds that I'm showing to you, then you should have the similar fight as I have. So don't focus too much on the mage or whatever, especially on the Gilroy, because or Barons, they are just here to buff, to hello Caliburn Hatcher to do as much damage as possible. So, as I said, try to respect the speed. I'm not telling you that this is the exact best speed to have to make this team as efficient as possible, but at least it works for me to geo like 90 more hurt. If you respect the speed that I'm showing to you, then you will have the similar fight for sure. Well, this is everything, nothing specific here. As I said, focus on the speed. You will need enough effect accuracy to land the different debuffs, so consider that too. And well, if you respect that, everything should be okay. So this is everything that I have for you guys about this new video on Steel Franklin Peinveid. Bye bye guys, enjoy the game, see you soon for another video.